going to do here is repair torn drywall. And what happens there is the paper tears. There's two layers of paper. The outer layer is a sealed layer, and the lower layer, this brown layer, is absorbs water readily. And when that happens, it will delaminate from the gypsum below. So there's two types of paper tears. One where the brown paper is still well adhered to the gypsum, and one where the brown paper is already delaminated. And this is the already delaminated type right here. So if you put anything with water on this, this is just going to bubble up even further and create a problem that needs to be fixed. What we need to do is cut this out to where the paper is well adhered, and then we can skim over that. Okay, so we will do that. We'll cut it out all around the wound here. Very light pressure. You don't want to really damage the gypsum underneath. You just want to take this paper out of here and get down to a sound edge. You just want to, yeah, you see that there? We got up underneath there. So we'll just have to take that out too. Okay, now we've got it cut back to where it's all intact around the perimeter of this hole. We can just fill this in. We'll take that little piece off there, just to be safe. All right. Yeah. Now we can just fill that with joint compound. Here I'm just using standard joint compound because I have the time. I can let it dry overnight, and it's such a thin fill. It won't take too long, so I could just go both directions to get it into the edges all the way around, and then just kind of put a light coat over the whole thing. And smooth and clean up the perimeter. And I want to build that up just a little more so that I can sand it down to right where it needs to be. Said you can, if you want to be 100% sure, you can build it up even more, like so, but you just have a bunch of sanding to do tomorrow when that's dried. Okay, so we've coated this. We're gonna let it dry. Once it's dry, we can sand it down to where it needs to be, or we can do a second coat if required. But the most important thing is do not apply any water-based product to the brown paper. Be it joint compound, water-based paint primer. It will make it bubble, delaminate, and then you'll just have to cut it out and start over again. Okay, so here is a sheetrock paper tear. The brown paper is exposed, but you can feel it, and it's very well adhered to the gypsum below still. But if you put mud directly on this, joint compound, water-based product of any kind, it'll release and bubble. So then it'll need to be cut out. But to avoid that, I use a primer. So I use this product, it's called Bin. It's a shellac-based primer. And the reason why I use it is because it dries very quickly. So I can proceed with the joint compound repair, and if I use quickset, I could be painting the same day. So this is shellac-based, not water-based. Anything but water-based will work. Oil-based will work, but it takes longer to dry. So that's why I use this. Shellac-based, quick drying, non-water-based primer. And we just prime that spot. Make sure you get primer on all the brown paper. That's all it takes. And when that dries, we can go right over it with some quickset or regular joint compound, whatever you prefer, and that'll fix the tear.